Good morning and welcome to America's Home Cooking. What I'm making today is I'm going to take a meat sauce and I am going to stuff eggplants. And then we'll bake them. And that's what I'm having today, which I think would be nice. Because I use, why do I keep on putting in my compost? I've got to get my head together. I keep on telling you I'm saving these vegetable peelings, and what am I doing? Putting them everywhere else. If we have any left over, you can have it over pasta. But I use eggplant sometimes with spaghetti. So I decided I'm going to chop this onion up very fine, and I'm going to stuff eggplants. I've got 6 of them, I think. Anyway, if you have any left over, you can put it over pasta. Most everything that will be going in this dish is going to have to be minced because we got the small eggplants and we're going to stuff them. Though I did find another recipe that we stuff them with cheese and stuff, but I'll do that another day. So realize you're going to have to mince a lot of this up, and I'll show you the eggplants I got. They're really cute. I love these little things. We're going to make tiny little boats out of them. I think they're so cute. Okay. We're going to need some scallions. That was just leftover onion I had there. And we're going to put a couple of scallions in here. 1, 2. They're not green onions, they're scallions. I hear so many people calling them different names. No, this food has exacting names. When somebody says green onions, you know, I don't know what they're talking about because I learned the proper terminologies of all these things. I had to. And if I don't know it, I dang well looked it up to make sure. Like I said, my mother told me I was going to sit and listen to Julia Child, which I did do. And she would test me. She took me in the kitchen as young as I was, and she'd ask me, what's this? And I would have to know the meanings. And then she'd say, I want you to look here. You see this? This is what it's going to look like. So cooking was actually a show and tell. You can explain, oh, creaming means that the butter and, you know, the sugar is going to blend together, but you have to see it. So everything is like a show and tell in the kitchen to learn. As you can see, I'm really slicing these thin. Like I said, everything's going to be minced because we've got to get them in these little bolts. And yes, we're going to put Parmigiano cheese on them. And I have some tomato sauce already made. I have some here, and we'll be adding more to pour over them. And we will be baking them. See, I'm not worried if I have extra because I always have pasta. Okay, I think that's enough onion. I think you would agree with me. Oh, I have to pull you back so you can see more of what I'm doing. When they use the term with onions caramelized, it means that they're going to be brown. You'll see them turning a golden color. If you ever hear the word caramelize the onion, that's what they want you to do. So we're gonna mince two tomatoes. We called these egg tomatoes. I don't know what they call them today, but I knew them as egg tomatoes when they came out. Remember, I was in Texas in a small town, so when they came, we knew them as egg tomatoes. Now I am going to be adding a hot pepper to this, but you do not have to add the hot pepper to it. It's just that I like it a little spicy. Well, this might be a cold winter this winter. That skin is pretty thick. Okay, you need 1 lid of celery. See, if you're healthy, and this is my philosophy, if you're healthy when you're young and you eat well, you won't be sick in old age. And for people who think that cooking is beneath them, it's not. I know young women that have been angry with me and said, your generation, you're the one who caused us to have to work. No. The trick of this whole thing is the man works and he's bringing that income in. You have to make his income work. This is why learning to cook nutritionally, the chances are of illness and stuff and medical bills shouldn't be drowning you out. Now, they have proven a long time ago, the readings at the ARE, Casey had stated that carbonated sodas were unhealthy for the human body. This guy loved having Coke because he worked for the Coca-Cola company, but he was having digestive problems. And he couldn't figure out what was wrong, so he went for a reading. And Casey had stated point blank, carbonated soda was not healthy for the body. It causes digestive problems, and it really does. You know that carbonation that you get in the sodas? It goes through your whole intestines, and it explodes in your intestines all through the system till it comes out. And when it explodes, the walls of your intestines cannot get the food, the nutrients. So it just bypasses it. The more sodas you have, more carbonation you have, it interferes with your digestion. And if your digestion is not working every day, whatever cells needed replenishing at that time are not going to be healthy. They're going to be sickly. And in time, if you keep drinking the sodas and stuff, you will find out that you'll end up with sickness and illness. Why? Because the body couldn't get what it needed to sustain itself. You actually have a machine. Your body is a working fine art of machinery when you think about it. Let's see. I need a dry place to slice this. Don't worry, I'm not putting too much in because I know how hot these peppers are. So when you think about it, you actually cause your own problems. It's just like drinking liquor, be it beer, hard liquor, or whatever, or take illegal drugs or drugs. They block nutrients from getting into your body, and in time, you make yourself sick. Babies who are nursed have the food from the mother, which is already pre-digested and put in simple form that the body can handle. Now, you bottle feed your baby, you build them up with bulk. That's all you're doing, building them up with bulk. But they can't break that food down. They're actually living off their own body until they get to the point where they start eating at the table, but they're missing all those nutrients and antibiotics and everything that you have in your body that you're supposed to be giving to them to give them a fighting chance in life. And they're coming out now and stating point blank, there are more sick people and children today than there has ever been. And we're only talking, let's see, in my lifetime, we didn't hear about sick children. So I'm 71. So we're talking in, let's say, I'll say 50 years, there's more asthma going on, children's bones are weaker, cancer is up, diabetes is up, childhood diabetes, all of these problems, deformities, mental illnesses, all of this is coming because of what they're doing with the food, and the food is not nutritious enough, and the children, as they're growing, are not getting what they want. If you take drugs and stuff, you are breaking down your body faster. There's no doubt about it. You're poisoning yourself slowly to death. Okay, that's it. I'm saying it. It's true. You have to deal with it. If you drink and you sit there and eat the next day, your cells are still drunk. They can't get the food and do what they have to do, so you've got to wait for them to clean themselves up. We don't know how long it takes a cell to clean out the liquor so it can function again, because you probably have another drink. You have a drink every day, you go out on the weekends and you drink and plaster yourself. You've got a whole week of the body trying to recover, though you feel recovered, the body is not recovered, and then you have to go out and drink again. Your body never has a chance to get well. And you wonder why people are getting sick? Did I try drinking? Yes, I did. I am not gonna lie. Everybody around me drank. You know, and so I said, okay, I'll try drinking. I figured I'll try it 6 months and see what I get out of it, and you know, whatever. And all I did was find myself vomiting, sick, and headachy. And I said, nah, I didn't even survive 6 months. I went 3 weeks. That was it. I was done with drinking. That's it. I'll cook with the liquor and stuff, but I don't like it. Then marijuana was the big thing when I grew up. Oh, you got to try it, Sandy. You got to try. I should never listen to people, you know that? So I tried that, and that affected me as well. I don't like it. I'd rather the love of life, I guess, is what I have, or want to call it a happiness of life, or whatever it is. I tried these things, and I felt bad. I didn't like it. But it's a choice that we make. If you're sick in old age, you brought yourself to that point. If your children are deformed or get sick all the time, your fault. You didn't eat right and do what you're supposed to do, and that's it. And if you think a doctor knows what, he doesn't. He does not know nutrition. He knows nothing about it. He's never taught it. He's only taught how to give out medications. Now, if medications, and you think about it, if medications were good for you, why do you need a script? And why can't people buy a PDR, a physician's desk reference, to see the counter effects of these medications? Because, and even at the pharmacy, you have to go to the doctor, see the doctor, get a script, and then go to the pharmacy. Then the pharmacy talks to the doctor, decides which medicine you're going to get, and then they give it to you. And they give you direct instructions to take it. I can go to a health food store, I can order vitamins and get what I need. My thing is if you can't find something in that PDR that doesn't have a side effect, I don't want it, because I'm being poisoned to death. Look, I know sooner or later I'm going to die. We all are going to have to pass that lonely road. But a doctor will not save your life. He can fix a broken bone. They can do certain things like that. But the medication they give you does not help. It only prolongs the suffering. That's all it does. Now people say, "Oh, I feel all right. I feel good." You feel as good as you were when you were 20? I doubt it. I mean, I am 71. I do not have arthritis. I do not have dentures. I do not have a broken bone. I mean, I really got all my teeth in my head. I can still pick up 40 pounds. It's getting a little difficult, I have to admit, but I can still swing 40 pounds. I can't go above that because I was very sick at one time when I was younger. And it sort of limited me from that point on, that 40 pounds was my limit. I think 39 would be more comfortable for me now, to pick up 39 pounds of groceries or something. But there's a limit that I can go to. But I live in that range, but I keep my body going. I sleep well. I don't need anything to sleep. My knuckles aren't swollen. You can see that. No arthritis. I'm not losing my mind. And like they said, not Parkinson. What's the one? Alzheimer's? They found out that Alzheimer's attacks the master gland. I think it's the pituitary. Oh God, I can't always remember these words. But that it attacks that gland and puts a coating over it. And this is why people lose their memories. The gland is still there, but it's covered with a film. How do we know? Since it wasn't known 50 years ago and it's brand new and it's becoming extremely popular, how do you know it's not the chemicals and preservatives they're putting in the food? Or the medications? You don't know. But you can think about it. If it wasn't there 50 years ago, and this is in my lifetime, I'm talking my lifetime. I'm not going beyond 71 years. I'm talking in my lifetime. And like I told you, when I was little, the big thing was heart attacks. People had heart attacks. Food allergies, that's another thing. Food allergies, that means somewhere in the intestines it's not developed to take in those nutrients. And food allergies are when the food is not broken down and it gets into the blood, and the blood, because the white cells protect you, they're going to sit there and fight it off because it's a foreign body. And you're saying, but it's food, my body needs it. Yes, but your body, this is your digestive system, cannot break it down. Something is missing. This was not a problem. This has become a major problem now. I'd be afraid to cook for somebody. They probably tell me I got an allergy against this, I got an allergy against that. You know? I don't have a food allergy. The only thing I have is, if it runs across my plate, I'm not eating it. I can't kill it. I'm sorry. I'm just one of those people. I can't. That smells so good. So, what I'm informing you is that in my lifetime, a lot has changed. And not for the good. Oh, you could say the technology is better, this and that. But you know, my father didn't have to go and get the filter changed on the cars. You know what his filter change was? He went in, he took the roll of toilet paper out, it was full of oil, and he threw it away, and he put another roll of toilet paper in. That was the filter for the cars. You can't do that today. They say technology is good. No, it's not. They try to convince you it is, but it's not. You know what I forgot to put in this? Garlic, and you didn't remind me. And now I'm going to chop up some garlic behind you. Just mince the garlic, that's all you have to do. I might get my garlic press and press it in so I can get it in there faster. I had a friend that wasn't sleeping well, and I told him, here, have some calcium magnesium. He said, what is this? I said, it's 2 minerals. I said, just 2 minerals, balanced to the human body. It won't affect you, but it will help you sleep. He was afraid to take it, because where he works and it's heavy machinery, they're always checking people. I forgot to mince it, that's all. He was afraid that it would affect his blood works, because they always checked people randomly for the blood works to make sure they weren't on drugs because of the kind of work that they did, the heavy machinery and stuff. And I told him, look, it's vitamins, that's all it is. I mean, it won't show up in your blood. I mean, well, it does show up in your blood because you have calcium in the food. Of course it's going to show up. But he was really leery. Now, we're sauteing these vegetables. Now, that means we're pre-cooking them, basically. That's what it means. And then we're going to add a pound of ground meat as soon as I find out where did I put my ground meat. Oh, Jesus. Here it is. You're not really cooking the vegetables all the way. We're just sauteing them, and that's what it means. Just pre-cooking them a bit. And see, they're small, so they'll be able to get them into the eggplants. That's why everything had to be minced. Let me get this out. going to brown the meat before we make the sauce. If you don't seal it up, the meat is flat. I've seen people that just boil the meat, be it in a tomato sauce, or they make a beef stew or something, or they just boil it, and you boil all the flavor out. You don't get it. It's not sealed up or anything into it. And browning it does give it a different flavor. But these are shortcuts that people are doing today, and the food isn't appealing anymore. But when you take all these steps, the food gets very appealing and really grabs everybody's attention. So my videos are long. I understand that, and you probably say I just can't attention span. But in order to be able to cook, you have to take your time. You have to learn all of this. You take shortcuts, your food is flat. I don't care how much seasoning you put. The meat will not have that rich flavor in it or anything else. What did I have in red wine? Hold on. I found. It's just like deglazing. We're learning about deglazing. And that's how you get all those lovely drippings and stuff. You don't have to use a ton, but you use just enough. Now I know it's liquor, but when you cook it, the only thing you're going to have from the liquor is the flavoring. You cook the alcohol out, so if you're worried and say, oh, my children can't have this, your children can have it because you're cooking that flavor out. Not the flavor, you're cooking the alcohol out. Now that was leftover tomato sauce. And you have to have this thick because we're going to be stuffing it into the eggplants. And I know the eggplant has fluid in it. So I want to make sure this is a little more on the thicker side. So it's almost like having spaghetti, but we're just not having spaghetti in the over pasta. We're actually going to have it in an eggplant, just to be different. Now, I have to get my seasonings out, so please give me a minute. Okay, I'm back. This is pepper. They say to put the bay leaf in whole and take it out. And we eat the bay leaf in this house. By the way, bay leaf is very nice if you have gas, not just for children, but for you have gas. You can make bay leaf tea and have that. Have it hot, not cold. But remember, carbonated sodas are going to give you the gas and the poor digestion. Another thing doctors don't tell you is medication destroys your digestive system in the stomach, and that's why you end up with ulcers. Just letting you know. Then they give you antacids as I get antacids for it. That's oregano and basil and black pepper, and I'm going to put thyme in it. You saw the bay leaf. Yeah, I think I added oregano. I can't remember. I don't think I'm going to have any leftovers. And we will put a little bit of butter in this. Maybe 2 tablespoons just to cover for the hot pepper, and that's pretty much it. Okay, I'm gonna let that butter melt and we'll start getting these eggplants together. But it depends on how much room I'm going to have in them. Oh, Sandy, you're gonna save those. I'm talking to myself right now. Now you're not going to take all the insides out, because if you do that, you have to make sure you have 4 sides to pack it in. If you don't have 4 sides to pack it in, it's just not going to work. I'm cutting them in half like a boat. See? Now the trick is getting the innards out. Jesus Christ. Yes, I burnt myself now. Let's see, how am I going to get this out? Should I use a paring knife and then with a spoon? I gotta think about this. Give me a minute. Now remember, we can only go so far because we don't want to go to the end of this. And you can use the insides that you scrape out. You can put it with your stock and know that you can use it. I don't want to make it real thin because it's got to hold the meat, so you have to be careful when you do this that you don't cut through. You see, you have to leave it like this. You don't want to cut through here because it'll fall out. So as you can see, it's not too deep. And I made sure I didn't go to the end here and to the bottom here, nor the sides, so I have the packing on the sides. So if you take your paring knife, and do some horizontal slices. Don't go so deep that you're going to mess yourself up, but enough that you can get your spoon in there to start working, and then cross them again with horizontals. It looks like little diamonds. I'll show you. See how it looks like little diamonds? It makes it easier for you to take these out. And am I going to use the inside in the stalks? Yes. Yes, I will. Now be careful when you go so far that you turn it and go to the other end. If you keep tearing, you'll tear right out, and then your sauce will run out. So you have to be careful about that. Okay, I'm going to continue doing this, and when I'm done, I will be back. Now, I finished, but just to prove to you that I am going to use all of this in my vegetable stock, you can actually see I'm putting it all in here. I'm not going to be wasting anything. Pretty soon I'll be making my vegetables first for the new winter, a new bag of stock. I'll put that there, I'll get that. Let me get my pan out. The pan that you're gonna bake it in, grease it. Okay, I've done that, like I told you. Now, I've got to figure out how to make sure I can get all of these in here without too many problems. And they probably aren't gonna fit in here, are they? Well, I'm gonna have to have 2 pans. I'll cook 1, 2, 4, 6, 8. The next ones I'll put in a 4x4. Oh, I need a mat. What I have over here is just the meat sauce that you saw me, that we just finished cooking. Okay? And you're going to stuff your little boats. Don't worry, there's going to be cheese on them too. We're going to let them cook a bit, and then we're going to sit there and put cheese in them. See, I know how such big eaters my sons are, so I have to sit there and buy extra. They're hearty eaters. And my girlfriends make fun of me. She said, "Oh my God, Sandy, the way you cook, nobody wants to leave." And I said, well, when you love good food, you know, you do it. Set your oven up, I should tell you, set your oven at 375, because we have to cook these eggplants. Now you see why we did the ground meat the way we did, so it could sit there and it wouldn't be lumpy when we pack it in. See, my family loves spaghetti. They also like bolognese. I said, I know, that's a really good dish. What is that? That is the first, what we know as spaghetti today. Here, let me turn you so you can actually see what I'm doing. And they said that they used any wild game they could have. So I'm hoping that my butcher can find ground venison. And I want to make it with venison and see how it comes out. Doesn't that sound interesting? You gotta tell me it sounds interesting. It doesn't sound like a boring dish. And a cardinal, he made it for the cardinal, and it became famous, you know? They used wild turkey. They used whatever game they could find to make this dish. Bolognese. And so I said, oh, okay. I can deal with that. Listen, I'm going to try to stuff these as tight as I can in here. Make room for one more. Yeah. Okay. Got 3 more on the cutting board, so I'll go ahead and stuff them. And I'll grease another pan for them. I don't have any more room. I guess we could call it a spaghetti in a boat. Because when you cut vegetables like this, they call it a boat. I know my son's gonna say, Mommy, I want more. Look, I can only do so much. Okay, I have a little bit left. I'm not gonna lie to you. I could stuff 2 more. And that would be it. That's all I have left. But I'm going to save it. And we can have it. Now we're going to grate some Parmigiano cheese. Unless you want Romano, but I think Parmigiano would be best. I'm gonna have to buy some more cheese. Running out. Now what am I gonna serve with this? I think a lovely green salad. You know, just different greens. I want to finish up that basil and tarragon dressing that I have. I haven't finished it yet. I made a lot. Now we're just going to cook this until these eggplants are done. And how long? I have no idea. I know you want me to cook fast, but I'm a slow cooker. What can I say? See, the meat sauce is already done, so you don't have to worry about cooking it. The only thing you're going to be cooking is the eggplant. And you know how fast eggplants cook. So just remember that when you go. When you set your temperature, they are not going to be spending a long time just until done. Just check your eggplant and keep an eye on it. Need some more cheese. Remember, I have 3 that I haven't put in there, so you're saying that's enough. Well, no, I'm actually gratering for the rest of it that I have up here. And what bread am I going to serve? The pull apart oregano bread that I made. We can finish that loaf up. Okay, you just have to wait till the temperature gets there. And that is pretty much it. Now, if you'd like to serve this as a dinner, you can sit there. I think Merlot, which is a dark red wine, would go excellent with this meal. A starch, if you want garlic toast would be great. Get garlic, get an Italian loaf of bread, cut it horizontally, and then cut it in sections. And some Italians use oil and brush it with oil. Other people use some butter. I use butter and garlic together because I like the flavor. And I will take fresh garlic and I will crush it and spread it all over the bread, and then add a little bit of garlic powder because it gives it really punch of the garlic with it. With a salad and this, and it would be delicious with a red wine. So let me get this in the oven. And I will see you when that is done. Okay, here they are. I'm getting ready to put them on a serving platter. And then I'll get the other ones in. Oh, come on. Now before you serve this, you should let them sit for about, I'd say 5 or 10 minutes. Because the eggplant is very, very soft. So give it time to sit a bit before you handle it. Yes, it's very hot. But I am just going to stack them any way I can. And I'll put the other ones on and get them on the platter as well. Here it is. And that's it. Take care. Bye-bye.